in this side, and against Australia, that is a change. We've always asked Joe to be the one to put the dint in them, play off the back of him, and in the Australian camp, well, you know, you've got that player in Webke. He's the best in the world at it. He'll put a hole in them tonight.
Yes, looking forward to the matchup of the respective front rows. There's the Kiwi side getting some last-minute instructions from Gary Freeman, so they will keep the Kangaroos waiting. And joining me in the box tonight also is Tira Party.
Yeah, we have a shot of the Kiwi side there, and it's very, very important that they are relaxed, that they are calm. Big match fever here at the Capeton, and the intensity and the emotion, it's very easy to get overawed by the whole event. Very important that they put on a good spectacle and they do it with a lot of calmness.
Well, the Kangaroos looking calm. The pressure is on the Kiwis, and I suppose the Paul brothers as well. Brothers in arms tonight, back from the old dart.
We've talked about the Paul brothers all week and the unpredictability that they bring to this Kiwi side. They will have a big part to play in this match this evening.
Not sure if Helen Clark would like that sign, but each to their own, as they say, Darryl.
Well, you'll find Helen Clark to be the Prime Minister of this country and not the Mayor Costo. But yeah, it's a big match, and Nathan Kalis, he is the one that's going to ask and lead by the front for his fellow forwards.
So the men in black are on to Westpac Trust Stadium. The fireworks are up. A sea of black and white. Wonderful reception for the home side. Stephen Kearney playing his first test match in his hometown. Tonight playing his 39th test. Stacey Jones in the number 7 jumper.
We have a quick look at the Australian side here. World class and world champions. Lockyer, what a player, what a state of origin series. Work your way through it, you come through the halves. Barrett, Johns, Fittler, some say that's his best position now at the lock. Captain, last test in the forwards. Wow, look at them, size of them. Siranasiva, Kearns, Carlaw on the bench. The only back is McDougall. Chris Anderson's as crafty as they come. They are the world champions.
8-time world champions, in fact. And the Kiwi side really tonight with a point to prove.
Absolutely, and they'll be led by Robbie Paul from the back. He'll have a strong game for sure. Tupi and Wagner, Violecki, Melly and Paul, rounded off by Stacey Jones, with Monty Beethan, Kearney, Wiki, Kalis, Swain and Smith. A very, very formidable forward pack. Swan, Susil, Lautiti and Solomon to make up the bench, and of course their coach is Gary Freeman.
Solomona, of course, the only new cap tonight for the NZers. So we are getting ready for kick-off here. It's the Kiwis and the Kangaroos. Buckle up for a big one tonight. It should be an absolute ripper. Forget last year. That goes out the window this evening.
Yeah, it's very, very cold here in Wellington tonight. Tony Iro down on the sideline. How do you think Gary Freeman's feeling?
Well, he'll be very nervous, Darryl. A big night for him, a big night for these young Kiwis. This is a very inexperienced Kiwi side, led, of course, by the Paul brothers and Stacey Jones. As you say, a cool, clear night in Wellington. Heavy dew on the field. The pitch is very firm, but the boys will have their long sprigs on. Handling vitally important in this first 10-minute touching-up period.
Thank you, Tony. We now stand by for the respective anthems. warming up for the man they call Freddie. And now the New Zealand anthem. And the capital is alive and kicking. We are getting ready for Trans-Tasman battle number 97. The Kiwis, of course, they ate the frogs last month. Tonight, will it be a case of having some kangaroo stew? And we stand by for one of the most awesome sights in football, the haka. Nothing else will. We are in for one heck of a game.
Oh, are we? What inspirational stuff here from the crowd, with many members of it getting up and doing the haka with the boys.
Interesting also to note that the formation of that haka, I don't know if there's any significance whatsoever, but no one man out in front, all together, and perhaps that's a sign of what's going to happen this evening.
It will take a team effort to beat the Kangaroos, no doubt about that.
Good luck, mate.
They are the underdogs, but
keep back, lads.
This is not mission impossible for the Kiwis.
Give her back, Steve.
So it'll be the Kiwis running from right to left on your screen. Russell Smith from Yorkshire is the man in charge. As you've heard earlier, plenty of controversy in the lead up to his appointment tonight.
Do we know what you're waiting for?
And we have some sort of delay here at Westpac Trust Stadium.
Just about sand up, mate. Henry.
It's like we're short on sand.
Sand up.
That will take the tee instead.
Well, we have the rule in the NZRL that you're not allowed to use the tee for the kickoff.
They're going along, mate.
Perhaps that does not apply to these test matches.
Cheers, thanks.
I think reading Henry's body language, I think he said something along the lines of, they're going to use a tee, so we'll use a tee as well, sir.
Stay behind, lads. Don't get in front.
So the ball is set on the tee, and we are underway. Let's get it on. Henry Paul restarts play, and here's Webkey on the 20-metre line. The number one prop in the game. And Stevens with the next hit up. The two props lining up. And a clearing kick very early. Lockyer going downtown, taken on the full there by Henry Paul. confident take, but look at the chase.
Release, let him off.
Heavy tackling from the Aussies. The pass comes across to Torpy now. Plenty of traffic as well. Push back on the 20-metre line. They come the left side with Craig Smith. He's only played one game in 6 weeks. That comeback match against the Warriors last weekend, in fact. That is the 30-metre line. Swain from dummy half gives it straight away to Kearney.
Hands off 5, get back. 5.
And the last is upon the NZers. A step from Jones, and he gets a pass across to Henry Paul, and there's the kick downfield. Lockyer's got it straight away, gives it to his Bronco teammate Sailor. And listen to the boos, don't they love that? Big Wendell finds the turf here at Westpac Trust. And going forward now with plenty of gusto is Shane Webke. Sailor running into a black and white wall. 5 short of halfway. The Kiwis stinging in defence. So far, so good. This is Myers, one of the new caps, one of 7 Broncos in this Kangaroo lineup. Stevens across to Joey Johns. Andrew will get to his feet. 2 minutes gone, still no score. And we go to the air with Lockyer. This will come down with some snow on it. They let it bounce. Can you believe it? And luckily for the Kiwis, they've got the ball, and away goes David Bialecki, the man they call Freshie. Good run upfield, almost up to halfway.
Oh, what a great run. But what about that, letting a bomb bounce? The first one that goes up. The first surprise for the Kiwis tonight. Henry Paul, he's playing fullback. Robbie Paul has started the match at 5'8".
So a let-off there for New Zealand. They have the ball, 35 out from the Australian try line. Robbie Paul gives it across to Jones, back to Beetham. That's the 30-metre line, and his preferred position tonight at lock forward, Monty Beetham. Smith offloading, bouncing ball for Robbie Paul. 22 out, the NZers. They'll work the blind side with Jones. A little kick in behind the line. Get out of the way, Mr. Smith. Lockyer's back there, and will he be trapped? Yes, he will. Good chase from the Kiwis.
Certainly was a good chase. Extremely good football from the Kiwis. They've remained calm even after the little indecision from the bomb. And Stacey Jones, this is a very, very well-placed kick, and the chase is the impressive part of it all. Obviously, all players fully switched into this match.
Clive Churchill medalist, of course, last year in the grand final. And the chant goes up for the Kiwis. The restart picked up on the full by Torpy. Playing on the wing tonight, and he's smashed there by the Kangaroo defence. Good tackle from Fletcher. Swain from dummy half. Caught the markers napping. 26 out. Pass comes across now to the prop forward, Captain Kalis. In fact, it's Craig Smith getting to his feet. Jones. Now to Beetham.
4, release, let him off. Keep coming back.
Kalis, the skipper, takes it to the 10-metre line.
5,
Last tackle coming up for the Kiwis. Jones gives it straight away now to Henry Paul, the kick in to the in goal, and Sailor brushes one, but he can't get away from them. Again, another set coming up for the Kiwis.
Yeah, it's another set, and this crowd has really taken this match to heart. The short kicking game of the Kiwis coming to the fore here. As we said, this time it's Henry Paul. Nice little stab kick. Wendell Sailor, very, very strong at the back, gets rid of Robbie. Too many black jumpers.
And we've talked about it earlier about the need to go forward, and Craig Smith and Nathan Kalis in the early exchanges really have delivered.
So another drop out from under the sticks for the Australian side. The ball trapped there nicely by Wiki. Been with the Canberra Raiders for the best part of a decade. Been a loyal servant to the men in green. Jones across now to Paul. That's Henry to brother Robbie. Bialecki chopped down, 15 out. Now Robbie Paul working the blind back for Francis Melly. Less than 10 metres out. What can they do? Paul across to Jones. He runs the football.
Oh, release, get off him. Let him off. Quickly. Get up, Johnny.
Looking to milk the penalty. It comes across now to Henry Paul on the inside to Kalis. Going backwards is Kearney. Trying to offload, can't do so. Good work from Jason Stevens. Swain across to Stacey Jones. The kick into the end goal. Lockyer, what can he do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Sustained pressure from New Zealand in the opening minutes of this Trans-Tasman battle.
And it really is all about pressure, and what Stacey Jones is doing here is applying more and more pressure to this Australian side, and they'll ask the question one more time.
Yes, they will, and plenty of good stuff about this kicking game. But what about Robbie Paul? That's the unpredictability we talked about, moving the blind side, involving Mealy on the wing, and the angles. The angle from Violecki on that run down the sideline. Top class.
Well, the Australians are in no hurry. Finally, we're back underway. 7 gone. Still zip, zip. Kalis.
Let him up one. Come on, Jace.
Plenty of yardage gained by the Kiwis. They've had the lion's share of possession. This is Craig Smith.
They've asked the question plenty of times with Stacey's short kicking game. Now's the time for them, for one player to stand up and ask the question with a bit of running abilities.
Well, we've had more questions than Mastermind. The Kiwis on a roll with Swain. The pass comes to Jones. Now across to Kearney. Did that pass? No. The pass comes back to Paul. That's Henry. What can he do? One-handed dish back to Beetham. And the crowd calling for a penalty. Swain a dummy half. Jones. They're rushing up quickly, the Aussies. Pass back to Kalis. Keeps the ball alive. Wickie's got it. Wickie over the sideline.
Ball movement galore here as we see Stephen Kearney offloading the ball. Many thought this game would come down to a battle of the front rows. Early part of the game, it's that man there, Kalis. He's already on hit up number 4. As against Webke, he's only come up with 2.
Well, it's been all New Zealand so far. The Aussies with the put in, a chance for us to go sideline for the first time tonight, and it's a very good evening to Tony Iro.
Yeah, thanks, Costa. A great passage of play for the Kiwis. Important now that they muscle up in defence. They've dominated the first 10 minutes. They have to make sure that the defence is on cue now and they don't fall away.
Good charging run there from Wendell Saylor. This is Myers. 7 Broncos in this Kangaroo side, and there's one of his teammates, Webke. Badly checked there by Kearney, falling into the tackle really. 10 short of halfway, and they spread it to the left. Fittler going nowhere. Hounding defence from Kalis and Swain. And a kick downfield, taken on the full by Clinton Torpy, and almost getting through. Almost 10 gone. Beetham getting back there for New Zealand. Russell Smith says play on, no penalty forthcoming. Henry Paul, what can he do? He takes it to the line, 5 short of halfway. Kalis to Smith.
Got to keep an eye on that knee, Craig Smith. Don't lift it up too high, buddy.
Swain from dummy half. And he kicks into open spaces, but Lockyer will get a very good bounce. And he goes across field, not sure where to go, got it back there to Takiri, the Fijian captain. Again, a wall of black and white. On debut tonight, Lottie Takiri for the Australian side. Getting to his feet now was the centre 3/4 Ryan Girdler. They worked that blind side again. Myers didn't he have a wonderful game in that State of Origin series decider. Had a terrific hand in Queensland's win over the Blues. Stevens Johns running the football. Joey Johns, great pass, got it back to Barrett. Here's trouble. He kicks for himself. Can he regather? Coming through the centre three-quarter. This will be a try to Gidley. Amazing stuff, tremendous skill, and a great finish to boot.
Oh, what? And they were lining up to score it. 4 yellow goal jumpers in the frame. Have a look at the ball here from Joey. First time in the match he decides to run there, out the back door. Trent Barrett backing up, creates inside, kicks the ball. Webke, what's he doing up there? And look at that, Gidley takes his time, no one around. I'm afraid that's too easy.
It is too easy, and just some great skills all round by Joey Johns and Trent Barrett. Just fantastic, really is. Invariably you'll see things like this happen where a team can apply all the pressure only to be turned around at the other end and hurt.
It's that man Joey Johns again. We spoke about it before the game. Good chip through from Trent Barrett. Unlucky for Murley on the left wing, coming at that football to cover it and slipping over. Unlucky for the Kiwis, but good luck for the Aussies, and that's a 4-pointer looks like being turned into 6.
Thank you, Ricky. Ricky Stewart, a special guest on the sideline tonight alongside Tony Iro. And yes, this is a sitter for Ryan Girdler. 6-0. Barrett getting the pass from Johns, and the Kangaroos, after copping plenty early, take an early lead.
Yeah, big psychological blow this for the Kiwis. They've dominated the first 10 minutes. Here, Joey Johns, second game back after an 8-week layoff, showing all the skills. Trent Barrett as well, and plenty of green jumpers there. Try to Gidley.
Tony, while you're down there, I know that little Ricky Stewart will have a smile from ear to ear. Can you wipe it off his face already, or what?
Yeah, well, he was grinning pre-match, and that's a really great comeback from the Australians. They're under all sorts of pressure, but that's what they can do to you.
So a restart for New Zealand, not what they'd anticipated. Oh, big shot on Webke, cop that. Sailor coming in off the flank. Shane Webke copping a nice shoulder charge there from Stephen Kearney. Danny Badiris getting the ball back for Lockyer, and a clearing kick from the number 1. And a good bounce for the Australians. They'll have to go back into the end goal. Does Clinton Torpey. Look at the chase. Oh, Torpey almost back into the end goal. And some pressure on the Kiwis here. Nigel Bungan are struggling, and the New Zealanders slow to get back on side. Looking for a penalty. Francis Melly helping out. They need some willing workers. Carlos is one you can rely on.
They've just lifted the intensity of the Australians here. Brian Fletcher, he's only had 2 hit-ups, but he's made 11 tackles already.
He has been very busy. In the face of adversity, the Kiwis have had plenty of ball, no doubt about that. This is Lockyer giving it to Keary. And that's tackle number 1. Look at where the Aussies are, 35 metres out. Myers. It's a decent carry from the redhead. 25 out. Stevens. Almost 15 gone. Johns to Barrett. Across to Gidley. Sailor coming back in field. Less than 10 out. The green and goals with Barrett. Oh, high tackle there on Fedler, but he got the pass away. Badiris now to Fletcher. Fletcher still going. Taken care of by Wiki. Last tackle coming up for the Aussies. They go across to Johns, the kick into the end goal. Coming through Gidley. Was he taken out? Knock on. There was a knock on anyway. And we'll come back for a restart. A dropout from under the sticks. The mistake at the back there.
Yes, watch the run. There's a shepherding run here and takes Gidley out of play by Lecky. Pretty creative, used his hips. That looks like it's knocked back. How often do we see it? Possession at the one end of the field by the Kiwis for 10 minutes to start a test, and the Aussies come back on the scoreboard.
Robbie, when you sense it, all that 10 a bit longer, tell you sense it.
So some instructions from Smith. Knock on at the back rule against Henry Paul. We're back underway, and a very shallow restart. In fact, it's an absolute mistake, an absolute shocker it was. I can't believe it. Not sure what they were trying to achieve there, but this is a gift, 2 points, right in front of the sticks.
Go, Brad.
For mine, that's unacceptable. I know we're trying to get the ball back. It's early in the game. I guess you have to try things. However, Henry Paul, he'll wish he had this all again. Goes out on the full, doesn't even get to the 10 metres. And this will be the first penalty in the match, which we thought would have come for maybe a play the ball or inside the 10 infringement.
So the first penalty of the game, and as I say, an absolute gift. This is the mother of all sitters coming up for the record-breaking Ryan Girdler. He hasn't had the best of seasons. Had a bumper harvest last year, of course, for the Panthers, the Blues and the Kangaroos. He's been getting some tips too in recent times from former Socceroo, Graham Arnold. How easy is that? Another 2 points for the Kangaroos. Girdler raising the flags, and it's Australia over New Zealand, 8-zip. So after some early pressure from the Kiwis, the scoreboard not reading the right way, as it were. Henry Paul with a restart. This time he opts to go deep, and rightly so too. Webke. He loves a restart. Stevens. Pretty even now after it was one-way traffic early on, but that kicking game of the Kangaroos, it has really picked up. Saylor getting to his feet, and Badiris zipping from dummy half. Throws the dummy, Danny Badiris. A new face in this Aussie side. Didn't play State of Origin this year. Johns drilling it downfield. And Melly will let this one go touch in goal. And we will come back for a restart on that 20-metre line.
Yeah, it's a kick found space from Joey Johns as Torpy brings the ball back. The early parts of this game, the New Zealand short kicking game was very, very good as the ball is lost and Australia have regained possession.
Well, that is a very soft turnover very early in the tackle count. Fettler across to Myers. A test coming up for the NZers, a penalty. Russell Smith not liking what he saw there, and Myers looking rather giddy.
Well, he's a bit dazzled, isn't he? This will go against Clinton Torpia here. There it is there. A little bit of an elbow. Russell Smith, I hear him say it, and you heard it as well. Leave it out. He's exactly right.
Well, they really are putting themselves under all sorts of pressure. Very important with that set of six, when they had the football, that it ended up over the sideline, way down the other end of the park. That wasn't the case, and now they see themselves lining up to be another 2 points down.
Who is our long kicker in our team? Henry?
I think we've got to have one of the pools in there. They've got a big kicking game as we have another look at Clinton Tupi, just very loose with the elbow, and Bradley Myers certainly felt it.
Very loose indeed. I'm sure that'll get some publicity after full time, no matter what the result. Certainly not in the makeup of Clinton Torpy. Well, Girdler's kicked 2 from 2 thus far, and this is about 14 out from goal, a slight angle. Plenty of heckling for the Panthers star, but he's online. Another 2 points. And the Kangaroos hit double figures. Australia 10, New Zealand no score.
3 changes down here. Big Patero Sivanasiva on for Shane Webke, and Robbie Kearns, he's come on as well for Brad Myers for the Kiwis. Very serious on for Big Craig Smith.
And it's not a bad effort at all by Webke. He deserves his break. 5 it up and some 11 tackles also off a 43-metre gain.
Here is Sivanasiva. Missed out on the World Cup last year, and of course that Broncos grand final glory because of injury. A big moment for him tonight. Kearns, his first touch. Robbie Kearns, Melbourne Storm enforcer and captain. Fletcher, offloading back to John. Kearns, they're keeping the ball alive. This is Barrett. Trent Barrett cutting loose. Got a pass back to Lockyer. Was it forward? No, says Russell Smith. And the Kangaroos get their second 4-pointer.
Well, not what we've come to see. The pass is okay by me. Just short on this left-hand side here. And we were just waiting for it. Lockyer has been floating around inside the ruck. They were nearly ready to congratulate him before he even put the ball down. 2 Australian jumpers there. Barrett. Good ball on the inside. Jerry, just not enough pace. Look, there's A-line behind him. Once again, all a bit easy.
And that was Stephen Kearney coming in on the charge. They're playing this up and in defence, and they really are struggling with it at the moment. The Australians finding plenty of room, especially on this right hand, the Kiwis left-hand flank, I should say. And Darren Lockyer, you give him that much space, and he'll hurt you every time.
Well, I suggested pre-match that the Kiwis should have their long studs on. That time Robbie Paul lost his footing. We've already seen a number of Kiwis do that. That allowed a defensive hole in their wall. And Darren Lockyer, look at that, 3 Australian jumpers. All too easy at the moment.
Darren Lockyer, the acting Broncos captain. He'd be pretty happy at the moment.
Those figures there from Ryan Girdler, 3 from 3, about to be 4 from 4. Has been out of form with his kicking. A good way to get yourself back into form is kick some nice easy goals, and he's getting plenty of that.
So it's 16-0. The Aussies doing it comfortably here in Wellington.
I was going to say there at about the 15-minute mark that both teams are showing an incredible amount of patience. That went out the window when there's a brain snap by Paul when he did that line drop out, and a stupid elbow by Tupi that let the Australians kick 2 penalty goals and put them right back in, well ahead of the match.
A shallow restart, and Big Jerry is on the park. It's worked out well this time for the NZers. Kalis. We watched the replay, and this time the gamble paid off, just travelling the 10 metres. The bat back from Swain coming off for the Kiwis. But driving defence, and they've lost the pill. Mistake from New Zealand. And the Aussies will get the ball back here.
Very important that they do settle down. It's a long time to go in this match, and they really do need to just grab a hold of it and get some control in order to get back into this match.
Perfect ball control from the Kangaroos so far. Girdler. Plenty of pace out wide, taken there by Vangana. Takiri. Takiri getting up, having a second go. 15 and a half minutes away from half-time. Kearns tucks it under the wing. That's the halfway line. Johns turns it on the inside. Carlaw. Another Bronco. Fittler at first receiver. Gives it on to Fletcher. The 2 Roosters back to Fittler. Last coming up for the Kangaroos. That's the 20-metre line. Lockyer to Johns. And out to Takiri. Over the top though goes the kick, and over the sideline she goes.
And the involvement from Takiri and Saylor in particular has been outstanding. Between them, some 6 dummy half runs, hit-ups, well up on that as well. Johns throws a long ball, possibly forward. Takiri snaps onto it.
Possibly forward, Tia. Come on. So the put in for the Kiwis. So New Zealand now have to travel 90 metres to try and get back in this game. Robbie Paul playing it back now. This is CU. Made his test debut for the Kiwis against France last month. Beetham slipping near the 30-metre line. Kearney. There's plenty of family and friends in the crowd tonight. Was a spectator last time Test football came to the capital. The last tackle coming up for New Zealand. Jones shovels it out to Henry Paul. Lockyer, perfect position. To Keary. Put away by Robbie Paul, leading the chase for the NZers. Gidley scored the opening try. Sailor again coming in off the wing. Fletcher. Some would say lucky to be playing tonight, Brian Fletcher. Certainly Gary Freeman knows exactly what I'm talking about. Fittler. Last tackle coming up for the Kangaroos. They'll come the right side with Johns. The kick downfield. Mally's rushing back, gets it on the first bounce, gives it straight away to Henry Paul, and look at the chase. He's a metre out from his own try line. Mally takes the hit up from dummy half.
Does very, very well to get back into the field of play here, Henry. As we see the ball from Mealy. Possession's been everything in this game. Just to give you a little bit of an insight here, outside backs have not seen a lot of ball. Nigel Vagani yet to have a run.
Kalis. And a kick downfield from Jones. He's had enough of this. Trapped by Sailor using the boot. And Big Wendell winds up.
And it's all about giving yourselves opportunities, and Wendell Sailor, he certainly goes looking for the work, and that's possibly one of the differences between these two sides at the moment.
Tivnasiva, swamped by three Kiwis. 5 short of halfway. The Aussies going forward this time through Carlaw.
Get off, quickly!
They work the blind side. Johns with a dummy. And almost over the sideline. That's good defence there from Nigel Vungana. He wasn't sucked in. Kearns. Last tackle now upon the Kangaroos.
Quick, get Kiwi!
Slow play the ball, but Dearest finally gets it. Fittler to Barrett. The kick coming through is Sailor. Mally takes it on the full. Bumps off Wendell. Got it back to Henry Paul. Henry Paul's away. Look at him go. He's back from Bradford. No doubt about that. He brings the fans to their feet.
Great return of the ball there as Clinton Torpey decides he's had enough of standing out wide. I'm coming in to get involved. Look at this, Henry. Here comes the footwork. Beats Barrett easily. Webke on the inside. Fittler wraps him up.
And warming up is David Solomona. Both sides have had 4 bench movements so far. Kearney crosses halfway. Just over 10 to go in this first stanza. 16 blot is the scoreboard reading at the moment. Swain from dummy half. Last coming up for the NZers. Jones. A bomb coming through his Violecki, but Darren Lockyer, cool and calm at all the time in the world.
Safe as a bank, Darren Lockyer. Uncontested the bomb. What I like about this Australian team, we talk about the debutants before, they don't try and overplay their hand. They leave it to the experienced Johns, Fittler and Barrett to make all the plays.
Well, it's all about being relaxed and calm and everybody understanding what exactly their role is on the football field. They seem to have this calmness about them that we spoke about earlier.
Good ball there from Fittler to Lockyer. Logan Swan giving Lockyer a bit of a massage. 8 missed tackles so far for the Kiwis. Last tackle coming up for the Kangaroos. Johns, first receiver. It's a downfield. And a gainer. Big job here for Francis Malley. Good chase. He's wrapped up just 10 metres out from his own line. Again, the Kiwis slow to get back on side. And a mistake too. And here come the Kangaroos. Quickly shifted to Lottie Dakiri. Great chance coming up now for the visitors. That could prove costly. A penalty. Will they take the quick tap? Yes, they will, and they'll spread it. Johns on the inside to Webkey. Webkey, the enforcer, a couple of metres short of the line. Badiris gives it straight away to Barrett. Now to Lockyer. Here come the Kangaroos. Girdler to Keary. You can sense another try coming here. Fittler to Barrett. Barrett, good tackle there from Solomona. Webkey. 5 short. Now Badiris from dummy half. So close. Johns. Sivanasiva. Just short. Good defence, New Zealand. They're under siege. They're like the Rats of Tobruk at the moment. And a penalty against the Kangaroos. Oh, don't the locals love that? Just as well for the Kiwis.
Well, no, I don't think a penalty here. Costo, he's lost the ball at dummy half. His big Sivanasiva. Well, there you go. Didn't touch it with his foot, did he?
Well, it was an incorrect play. The ball.
Quite correct. Kiwis a bit guilty here of playing football suicide. Francis Mealy, after dropping the bomb in the first couple of minutes or letting it bounce, getting a workout in that corner.
And speaking of Francis Mealy, Tony, I'm not too sure, but every time Francis has touched the pill...
Hang on, Tia, more pressure coming up. Oh, 6 to go it is. Well, I'll tell you what, a near thing there for the New Zealanders once more.
Near thing certainly was. Francis Mealy seems to have been struggling a little bit, Tony. I'm not too sure if his hamstring that he has struggled with during the week is troubling him or not.
Well, the thing is, the Australians have targeted him, haven't they? The kicks have all been down Francis's wing. He has been a little bit slow to get back. On the bench, the introduction of David Solomona means Gary Freeman has used his whole bench, looking for that spark for the Kiwis. At the moment, they need something. The Australian defensive line is half a yard faster at the moment, and all this talk about Russell Smith and his play the balls, they are slower, but they are suiting the Australians at the moment. They're getting plenty of numbers in the tackle, and the Kiwis aren't coping.
Torpy's got the ball, kept it alive too. The New Zealanders throwing caution to the wind, beat them.
And they have to.
They spread it across now to Jones. Robbie Paul. Solomona's got it, and that was the impossible pass. We know he's a good ball player, but that was just ridiculous.
Come on with me. Let him up.
Yes, well, creative play there. See Robbie Fly went out the back. Have a look at this, boys. Well, they call him the Michael Jordan of the Parramatta side. Unfortunately, that one didn't come off. Ricky Shirt, have you seen Brad Fittler have such a busy game for the last 3-4 weeks?
He's been fantastic, especially in the kick chase defence. He's been leading this left-hand side up, taking his side up, very effective in that area. Very hard to defend against his Australian attack. On the one side, they got Fittler. The other side, they got Barrett. Johnsy pops around. You got Lockyer at the back. Very difficult to defend against.
Speaking of Lockyer, there's the kick from the number 1. Good pick up 2 at the back from Henry Paul. He did well. He did better than well. Nigel Bunganar from dummy half. Good run.
His first one.
Henry Paul again, and finally a penalty, and not before time, say the Wellington faithful. They rejoice as if they've scored a try.
Speaking of tries, if there's one thing this Kiwi side do need before the half-time break, which is just some 5 minutes away, it would certainly be a 6-pointer.
Well, half-time can't come soon enough for the Whizzer. He would not be a happy chappy with less than 5 to go and a 16-point deficit. So the Kiwis have a clean set here, and they're 45 out. What can they do at the pill? Had plenty of possession early on, but since then the Aussies have turned things right around. Smith got it out the back door to Solomona. Solomona going forward. 5 in from touch. Sloppy play the ball. Beetham. Smith runs the decoy, goes to Jones, and they spread it across that right side to Swan. Getting his chance tonight, thanks to an injury to Matt Rua, and a penalty to the Kiwis.
Very adamant here. Russell Smith calling the ball's been raked out from Logan Swan. First time in this match we've seen a set play from the Kiwis off the back of that penalty. Something we need to see a lot more of. Logan Swan, Big Ali running wider. Quite correct there. Everyone having a scrap over the ball.
Well, back-to-back penalties, and what are they going to do? They're going to take the quick tap. Henry Paul trying to fool everyone. And a big mix-up between Smith and Swain. Play on Jones. Across now to Loatiti. I'd like to have another look at that one. We'll check on that shortly. New Zealand still looking for their first points. Can they get over the whitewash? Smith, Craig Smith, stepping up here in Wellington. And they've lost it. They have lost the ball. Beetham appealing for a strip, 6 to go. Smith will have nothing of that.
Having a fine match, I think, this Russell Smith tonight. Coming up with the right calls at the right time. That was knocked out. Monty Beetham.
Jake Smith, Richard, just back up. Just come back, lad. Just back up, you.
Well, there seemed to be a bit of a punch of the ball, but anyway.
Richard, don't strike on off that.
The Kangaroos with the loose head and feed. Johns gives it to Saylor. Again coming in off the wing. He is hungry tonight, let me tell you.
Let him off, quickly.
Scored 10 tries at the World Cup last year, and he gets a penalty here for his side as well.
Stay your 5 on the scrum.
Last time in the green and gold for the big fella, Wendell. Well, he probably wears green and gold with the Wallabies, but in a league test.
So the Kangaroos getting another roll on here with just 2 minutes to go. Will they extend their lead? Shivanasiva.
Release, get off. Wait.
34 out. Johns across to Barrett, and a good defence out wide there. Play on, says Smith. Gidley gives it across to Badiris. Lockyer on the inside. The Kiwis look tired. Fittler looking for support, and the ball goes loose. Is it play on? No. Well, it's fancy stuff. Very fancy.
Here again we see the footwork of Brad Fittler. Some say it's been missing from his game for a little while. Comes back on the angle. There's the step there. Big man Brad Fittler steps through. Ryan Girdley, you'll see, gets scruffed and ragdolled around the neck here. Come here, Ryan. Ooh, looks a bit like a whiplash.
Bring your seatbelt. Henry Paul back for Nigel Bungana. And panic play from the Kiwis. Jones picks up the scraps and gives it to Torpy. Luckily, Stacey was Johnny on the spot. Just 40 seconds away from the break. Nothing fancy you'll find here from the Kiwis. Robbie Paul across to Solomona. Violecki. Back for Solomona. The Parramatta connection.
Nothing fancy, you reckon, Costo? I don't know.
Well, they're getting up that way, aren't they? Craig Smith is still 40-odd metres out from the Australian goal line, and they're running out of tackles. Swain across to Loatiti, looking to get one out the back door. Finally it comes. Swain to Smith. Smith going forward. Good carry. They're 25 out. Robbie Paul a dummy half. There goes the siren. Henry Paul. Jones. Razzle-dazzle stuff. Ball goes loose. Smith back to Paul. Henry. Loatiti under pressure. Solomona. He puts the kick through. Picked up by Violecki. Francis Malley. Can he do it? No. Too much weight on that. Well, they haven't scored, but it wasn't for the want of trying. Russell Smith has had enough. The first 40 comes to a close, and it is all the Kangaroos. The crowd is quiet here in the capital at half-time. The two sides head to the sheds. It's Australia in the box seat at the break at 16 zip.
The green and golds, the Kangaroos, the world champions, lead the Kiwis after the first 40 minutes. They're completing their sets extremely well. Those errors in their own half costing the Kiwis.
Yeah, it's all safe stuff when they've got the ball in hand. They control it reasonably well, but it's about the errors. The errors have all been, as a result, and have all led to points to the Australians, whether it be by way of penalty or putting them in good field position, but line breaks. Yeah, the number of times whenever they have made a break, they've come up with points on the other end of it. That is what they've got to fix with the game. You go back, you talk about a drop out at the goal line, go straight out on the fall. You talk about Clinton Torpey conceding a couple of penalties, a metre or so off the line. All that needs to be undone. That all needs to be rectified if they're going to be in with a shot in the second 40.
Look after your own ball and things could be a whole lot different. That's probably one of the messages that Gary Freeman has given to his Kiwis. And you just know that Chris Anderson will be extremely comfortable. I think that is the one word he'll be thinking of. We're comfortable right now. We don't have to do too much more.
He's comfortable that whenever they've got half a chance, when they've had half sniff at something, they've been able to convert it and turn it into something. That would be pleasing to him. Yeah, there haven't been many opportunities, but they've taken whatever has come.
So what is about to unfold here at the stadium over the next 40 minutes in this test between the Kangaroos and the Kiwis? We'll get more now. Sideline, Ricky Stewart, also Tony Ido, and the big dog Jason Koskinen teaming up with Tiaropati and Daryl Halligan.
Thank you, Stephen. Yes, it hasn't gone according to plan so far for the Kiwis. 16-point deficit at the interval, but I suppose when you look at those stats, they have conceded only the 2 tries. It could have been much worse. But Daryl, really, the Kiwis paying the price for not putting points on the board with all that possession in the opening 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's totally different, stark contrast the first 10 minutes to the last 30. Some great performances led by debutant Danny Badeiras, coming up with 22 tackles. Just told by his coach to go out there, do what he has to do, and he leads the tackle count. For the Australians, options all over the park, players in motion, Fittler, Lockyer, the interchange, Fletcher's been good. You can see Big Brad Fittler leading the Australians out for the last time on New Zealand soil.
Yes, and he'll captain the Kangaroos on the Kangaroo Tour at the end of the season, all being well and good for Brad Fittler. But another day at the office, and well, it's getting close to knock-off times here.
Yeah, and we certainly hope, I guess, that one thing the Australians will realise is that 16 points probably won't be enough to win this match. Possibly looking at around 24-point mark, Daryl. The Kiwis, they've got plenty of firepower. They showed late in that first half and early in the first half that they have got the firepower to be able to come up with the points. All they've got to do is make a little bit more of their opportunities.
Very much so. They have to chance their arm without being stupid, don't they? 16 points in today's game is not insurmountable. They can come back, need the possession, need the right place.
Craig Smith and the Kiwis now making their way down the tunnel without stating the obvious. The Kiwis do need to score first to make a game of this. And those in the capital haven't put up the white flag just yet, nor should they. As they say, football's a funny game, anything can happen.
And Ricky, it's Wendell Saylor's last match. What are the chances that Wendell will cross in this match?
Not much, is it, Ricky? Well, there he is, Francis Millie. Is he 100% for the second half? Not quite so sure.
And the real problem is, I guess, for Gary Freeman is no real wingers in his side that can take the place of Francis Millie if he does struggle later on in this game.
Henry Paul, he's been under siege in that first 40. Plenty of clean-up work at the back.
And Henry was heavily involved in the first half. Nigel Wagner, it's on screen, not so heavily involved. He'll be looking to increase his work rate.
Time on for the second 40 here at the Westpac Trust Stadium. Craig Smith, the first hit up of the second half. Pass comes across the lower TD. They've really got to make it happen, the New Zealand side, in the opening 5 minutes here, to stand up and be counted. 35 out from their own line. And they go the left side with Robbie Paul. Almost up towards halfway. This is Beetham. And the last now upon the Kiwis. Swain kicking from dummy half. Again, Lockyer, he's been immaculate once again tonight. And to find out what was said at half-time in the respective sheds, let's go sideline with Tony Iro.
Yeah, thanks, Costo. Gary Freeman very disappointed in his Kiwi side. He felt their application they let themselves down after the opening great 10 minutes. As Robbie Kearns knocks on, he felt his senior players should have taken more control. He thought they pushed the pass too much. He wants his forwards now to dominate. He laid the task at their feet. He's expecting more commitment from them. And Ricky Stewart, Chris Anderson must have been very happy with Australia.
He was very happy with the effort in the first half. He wants to go back out after half-time and consider the score line a 0-0. Keep the ball down the other end of the field. Tighten up around the middle of the ruck. He said be very careful around the middle of the ruck with the little nippy guys running through the back of the ruck there.
Thank you, Ricky. Thank you, Tony. This is Solomona. They're 10 out thanks to that mistake from Kearns. The Kiwis looking to post their first points. Can they do it? Robbie Paul gives it on now to Swan. And a mistake from Robbie Paul. Well, the pressure off the Kangaroos just when we thought there was a try in the offing.
Yes, Logan Swan trying to interest the Australian defence and slop one back. Australia standing off. A quick little peek. All over.
Johns stepping. Thought about working that line. Sevenasiva getting out of the red zone. And some attention for Big Petro. Webke finished off by Lower Tidi and Solomona. They're going to go downtown, the Kangaroos. Early in the tackle count, the chase. Are they onside? Mally's got the pill.
Oh, got the pill and read it well. Took it just on the 40-metre line. Henry's going to get in and have a quick little dart, use some footwork, try and get a roll-on happening. Like to see Stacey Jones follow him up and try and build some pressure.
Smith crosses halfway. So the Kiwis now in good field position, out the back door. No one really there to pick up the pass. Jones on the inside. And the Kiwis really, I suppose, that second phase play, looking to turn it on in the second 40. Robbie Paul. Good pick up there from Solomona. He did very well. Now, has he lost the ball? The touchy giving the referee a call. Play on. And beautiful hands with those legs helping out. Now going forward is Beetham. Got it back. The Kangaroos have got it though. They've snuffed it out once more, and this is Johns.
They snuffed it out all right, but that was their best opportunity. Monty Beetham busting through the middle. The pass inside didn't go to hand, however. You'll see here Monty goes straight through.
Well, the idea was right. Nothing coming off for the Kiwis. Sailor getting to his feet on the halfway line. Sevenasiva. Made his debut for Queensland this year. Webke, one of the hard heads in this Kangaroo side. Last tackle now for the Australians. Johns. Sailor calls for it. There's the up and under. Some pressure on Malley. Wendell's coming through. And a knock on against the Kiwis.
They're just relentless, aren't they? They find a little weakness, or what they perceive to be a weakness, from the first play of the game, which was the up and under. Francis does well, stands his ground, just seems to lose sight of it. Wendell puts a little bit of pressure on him. They get the ball back.
A little bit of pressure. These guys are putting all sorts of pressure on the Kiwis, and they're really not responding. They're turning them around, and they really are struggling to regroup quick enough to handle the pressure.
Girdler. The Kangaroos now pressing for the first points of the second 40. They're only 5 out. Lockyer's got the ball at first receiver. try here would be very, very hurtful. Going forward now is Carlaw. To the Kiwis under the pump once more. Badiris is a dummy half. And he gives it across to Johns. Barrett, pass goes to ground and over the sideline. Well, finally something goes right for the Kiwis.
Yes, finally they overrun it. Trent Barrett picks up a great ball with the one hand, throws a long cutout ball. Where are you, boys? Ball, we're a little bit far forward.
So an important set coming up now for the Kiwis. What can they do? They're 20 up from their own line. They need a spark. Will it be provided by Logan Swan? He'll get up and play it on the 30. Beat them. Impregnable defensive wall being displayed by the Kangaroos tonight. Henry Paul trying to weave his magic, 5 short of halfway. And there's the whizzer on Black Friday. Not going to plan at the present time. Jones, upended, but got the ball away, beat them. They're just going backwards, the Kiwis. They are rudderless at the moment.
As you see, Stacey just upended, throws a speculator out the back, and Tony, I wonder, Stephen Kearney, a very influential player, he's been off the field for some time now. Do we expect him back very shortly?
He's just about to rejoin the action, Tia, and he'll need his spark as well, because this Kiwi side offensively aren't doing enough at the moment. They're just running one out in the early sets of the tackles, and they're just not asking enough questions of the Australian defence. Conversely, the Australians are doing everything right. They're getting plenty of numbers in attack. Brad Fittler, he's lapping up this play at 13. He can concentrate on his running game and leave the direction to Johnsy and Trent Barrett.
Yes, they really have a tremendous scrum-based trio, don't they, the Kangaroos? An all-star lineup. That pass looked very forward to Johns. Play on, says Smith. Now they work the blind side. And you can judge for yourself. For mine, it went forward. Smith thought otherwise. The up and under from Joey Johns. Some pressure at the back here on Henry Paul. He does well, takes it on the full. And again, a wall of green and gold jumpers.
Now this is an very important phase where the Kiwis really do need to regroup in order to get their go-forward going and then finish off with a good kick before they go to any ad-lib football at all. Darryl Halligan.
Oh yeah, and there it is there. Nice interchange between the Paul boys. Robbie running from dummy half, flicking one out the back door. Smith, hey, get back Australia. Can we build something on the back of this?
Well, a penalty there to the Kiwis. Referee Smith playing the advantage. Robbie Kearns sucking in the big ones. And there was some constructive play before that penalty from the Kiwis. The Pauls combining nicely as we see Henry fine touch as the Mexican wave goes around the stadium. Now going forward is the Kiwi replacement, Lauatiti. Kearney made his test debut back in '93, one of the senior statesmen in this New Zealand side. That is the 30-metre line. What can they do? Smith. Craig Smith carts it forward, plays it back. Jones across to Henry Paul, back to Robbie, now to Henry. Nice passing movement. Violecki got it back to try time for the Kiwis. Robbie Paul is over. Finally, they have cracked that line.
They certainly have got over the line that time, and it's all off the back of some good work by Craig Smith, Stephen Kearney. All the second rowers involved. Lauatiti was involved also, and that's the sort of go forward that's needed. The Pauls of this team will deliver for you every time. Just some clever passing, some clever interchange. David Violecki with a great left foot, and really there was nothing else for Robbie Paul to do except latch onto that one and put it over.
Oh, no one has deserved to try more than one of the Paul boys. And his name's Robbie. Between the two of them, Henry and Robbie, beautiful interchange there. Violecki makes it. They've made 20 hit-ups in this match. They have had plenty of involvement.
They really don't need to come up with anything too fancy. Just some good, solid, basic football, and they've got the players and the talent in the side who'll go all the way and score the points for them.
How nice was that interchange? Beautiful football between the boys.
12th try on the international stage for Robbie Paul. Has a huge following at Odsal in the north of England. And waved away. No goal. 16 for it remains, but finally the Kiwis are on the board.
It was a nice exchange of hands here to score this. Keep control of the football. They're dropping too much football and not giving themselves enough time to attack. They have to control the ball to put on tries as such.
Well, that'll give the Kiwis plenty of heart. And someone who's got plenty of kicker is Craig Smith, and he's got skills to boot, as we just saw there. Much better from New Zealand, much better. Loatiti offloading. New Zealand now getting a roll on. Swain up to halfway. They're into enemy territory. So the Kangaroos, for the first time in a long time, are on the back pedal to some degree. This is Swan. 5 in from touch. We have a 12-point ball game here in Wellington. Chant goes up for the Kiwis. Henry Paul got it back to Loatiti. Kearney has it now. Steve Kearney stepping in heavy traffic, looking to offload. 25 out centre field. Play on. Up and under from Jones. Pressure on Lockyer. Loses it. Kiwis have got it once more. And what's he ruled? No 6 to go. Wow, let's have another look at that. Smith copping plenty from the crowd. Saylor coming in off the wing once more.
Yeah, some fantastic pressure coming from the Kiwis as Lockyer gets up high off a Kiwi hand. I'm fairly sure of that as Nigel Garner latches onto it. So you'll find that Stephen Kearney's got his left hand up there and got a hand on it, so great call from referee Russell Smith. But plenty of players in motion, plenty of action happening, plenty of off-the-ball action also, with players being taken out left, right and centre.
Oh, very much so as we see Stevens here. Shane Webke off the field for Australia. He's getting a well-earned breather. Big game.
Now going forward is Dane Carlaw. Johns to Sivanasiva. Sivanasiva going up the middle. Luckily for the Kiwis, Craig Smith was around the bootlaces. Johns, Barrett, here's trouble, offloaded, try time coming up for the Kangaroos. Fletcher got it back. Look at the second phase play. Badiris has got it. Beautiful stuff. Kick over the top. Coming through is Takiri, and he's there. Amazing try. Lottie Takiri getting over the whitewash. The Kangaroos at their best.
Well, it's a try for mine as well. We'll go to the replay screen. Says Russell Smith. Marvellous interchange. But the skill come from Fittler in the end. It was the kick. Beautiful kick under pressure. Was there a forward pass in there? I think so as well. We'll have a look here. There's from Freddie. Check the grounding.
Well, this will show it clearly, and that is 4 points.
The defence was certainly caught all over the place. They were scrambling. They scrambled well. There were numbers on the right-hand side. Initially, they all chased left. And to Kerry, you give him an opportunity like that and he'll take it.
So the video referee this evening is Neville Kesher, and we are awaiting his decision here. It looks fairly straightforward. 26 to go. Kesha upstairs. What does he think? He says try. A clap for Lottie Takiri. A try on debut. 20-4, kick to come.
Not only a try on debut, but one that'll seek the hearts of these New Zealand players, having come back into the game from 16 zip down. Only to see them go back to that margin.
And look at the disappointment.
Kerry's had a very strong game here this evening. He's been heavily involved and he really does deserve that try.
And Kalis warming up to get back on, waiting his boarding pass. So the most difficult shot at goal tonight coming up for Ryan Girdler. He's kicked 4 so far. This one just a metre in from touch.
Has he kicked himself back into form? For the Penrith Panthers, most of the tries this year have been scored out wide, and that's where he's been struggling. This one will tell you with these easy kicks. See how he strikes it? Well, struck it good.
Better than good. He's on fire tonight. Who said he was out of form? It's the Kangaroos on the hop here tonight. They are flying at 22-4.
Well, it took the Kiwis 40 minutes to change the momentum of this match. It took the Australians 1 set, and we saw everything that was good about Andrew Johns then. Touch and a great kick, and he's tough as well.
The restart for the Kiwis, and it's back to the drawing board. An 18-point deficit. The Kangaroos coasting. Sivanasiva. This match promised so much, a chance for revenge for the Kiwis after what happened at Old Trafford. It was so close there for so long. Just 6 points really in that game until the dying stages. Well, at least the last 15, when the Kangaroos really put the foot to the floor. Johns with a kick downfield, and he finds touch. Good kick from Joey Johns.
Extremely smart play by Joey Johns. Just an opportunity to let the boys reset, let them grab their breath and have a moment and reflect on just all the good work that they have been doing in this early stages of the second half.
And he'll be very happy. Johns, of course, hasn't played too much football in the number 7 jumper for the Green and Golds. 8 interchanges used by Freeman so far, just 6 for Chris Anderson and the Australians. And the Kiwis, 10 out from their own line. And with plenty to do to get back into this game once more. Lower Teddy playing it back. Almost a fumble there from Kalis. Of course, there is a Warriors flavour to this Kiwi side. We all know what happened against the Bulldogs earlier in the season. Who knows what can happen from here on in. 22 to go. Jones puts the kick through. They're coming through. He regathers to Stacey. Back for Henry Paul. Where's the support? Swain's there. And he got a ball back. Mistake on the 40-metre line from Craig Smith.
Well, the support was all lined out on the right from the former Bali Lautiti. Plenty of others lined up outside there as well, as Stacey just knocked a little one in behind. Robbie Paul's coming flying. Picked up again by Stacey. Great support work. And Henry just elected to go left. Possibly on the right was where it was at.
Oh, very much so. But what about the short kicking game of Stacey Jones? Doesn't have a great long kicking game, but his short kicking game is superb.
And I guess if they're looking for somebody to get them back into this match now, the short kicking game of Jones and the Paul brothers is where they're going to have to go to in order to pierce this Australian line.
Sailor still going, crosses halfway, does Big Wendell. Finished off by Smith. Stevens, hard and straight. Hint of a knee being lifted there, but play on is the call. Johns on the inside, gives it back. Kearns coming through. Not sure if there was too much in that. Badira serving it up for Johns. Now to Fettler running the show. Out wide they go. The Kangaroos spreading the ball. 20 out. Johns, first receiver. The bomb coming through is Takiri. Up they go. Ball goes loose. Is it a try? Ryan Girdler dives on the ball. He'll go upstairs, but I think this could be a 4-pointer. Smith isn't sure. He'll check for offside play here and who has touched the ball.
Yeah, that would be his biggest concern, is did Lockie Takiri get a hand onto this?
Couple of questions here. Was there a knock on? Was it knocked back first? Was there an infringement on the catcher? Was he taken out? We'll get all these answers in just one tick. So what about the height? Up above the post. Comes back down. Lottie Takiri looking for number 2. That's fine. No obstruction. Need another camera to see if it went backwards. For mine, that's a try.
Well, up they go. AFL style.
And as initially thought, Lottie Takiri appears to have got a hand in amongst that, and Henry Paul certainly doing everything except call for the third referee, his imitation of the referee's call.
Well, after seeing all those replays, I don't think it's a try. I think the players know as well. They're getting back for a tap restart on the 20.
Henry Paul certainly knows, and he told Russell Smith immediately, as Takiri, I should say, high, and just gets that left hand involved there. You'll find it will be a 20-metre tap.
Well, it must have gone backwards.
I think you'll find it rolled forward.
No, it's definitely gone forward. No doubt about that. Just awaiting confirmation from Neville Kesher.
Really was a superb kick, Daryl. Pinpoint accuracy from Johns.
Oh, very much so. He's got it all, Andrew Johns. Step, run, kick, as we've just seen. Taking a long time. You're right, boys.
So the Kiwis live to fight another day. Vangana. That's the 30-metre line. Swain from dummy half. Melbourne Storm Centurion. Plenty of stamina in that man. This is Lawatiti, just short of halfway. Kalis. And was it touched? Well, the Kangaroos have got it, but he's ruled a knock on. And against the Aussies. We won't argue with that, Tia.
Certainly won't. Purely and simply because it was a knock on. Came off an Australian hand. And Russell Smith's got it right that time. As Andrew Johns gets a hand in amongst it.
So the Kiwis now come across to Robbie Paul. Looking for a quick play of the ball. Henry appeals for the penalty. This is Swan. Offloads back to Nigel Vangana. Smith crosses the 20. Back for Henry Paul. Now it comes to Lawatiti. Standing in the tackle. Let him off. The 1 hour mark has passed. Jones crossed the Kearney. Bumping run. Shut down by Badiris. 10 out. The Kiwis looking for their second try. Robbie Paul. On your line. Desperate defence from the Kangaroos. And a mistake. Penalty, in fact. Quick tap is taken. Jones across to Henry Paul. Smith launches himself at the line, right in front of the sticks or thereabouts. They come back the left side. Jones across to Kearney. Can he get the arms free? Shut down there on the far side of the field by Gidley. Lawatiti with the step. Lawatiti, couple of metres shy of the line. They'd love to buy a try. Can they conjure up one? Inside ball, Henry Paul. Jones with the knock on. Their handling is letting them down big time.
Yes, it is. And we see the move they pulled for the try with Robbie Paul. You pass the ball, you stay alive, and you get it back, as we'll see Stacey Jones there.
55,
Didn't work this time. Henry Paul for mine.
Nigel.
Having a whale of a game.
Well, the real concern really is 3 tackles before that play. The options on the left-hand side of the field when Stephen Kearney running, the opportunity for Henry Paul to get on the outside of him and create numbers didn't happen, and really I guess it comes down to that in the end. The opportunities just aren't being created with the football.
Good yards there from Takiri. Get to his feet on the 20-metre line, and now the other winger having a go at the Kiwi defence. That's Sailor, of course. 19 offloads to the Kiwis as opposed to the Aussies with just 9. But look at those mistakes with the pill.
They'd have it all, don't they, Australia? You just saw their 2 wingers make 30 metres.
And they get a piggyback as well. Marcel Smith not making many friends here in Wellington. Johns in towards our commentary position. 5 for the penalties to the Kangaroos. Stevens looking to punch a hole through that line.
Come on, get another yard.
Sivanasiva. That's good marker defence too there from Logan Swan.
2, it's 1. Come on, Jimmy.
Johns.
3, get off him.
15 out, centre field. Options left and right. Badiris back for Fittler. Fittler now across to Barrett with a step. Got it back to Stevens. They're keeping the ball alive. Good pick up from Barrett. Johns has got it. Goes to the right. Gives it across to Gidley. There's the kick. Coming through is Sailor. But, well, it was exciting stuff. But luckily for the Kiwis, they'll get the ball back on that 20-metre line.
Certainly was exciting stuff, and alarm bells must be ringing on that occasion. 4 of the tackles, some 50 metres gained by the Australian side. As we have a look at Gidley, just showed many of his skills. It's unfortunate, rolls over the touchline.
Ricky Stewart, a very, very big and physical Australian side. This young kid, Dane Carlow from Queensland, he's a monster, isn't he?
He is a monster. He's had a whale of a game as well. But I think our debutant, Danny Badiris, has had a great game. He's been very, very effective around the middle of the ruck with his defence. I think now the Kiwis have to start throwing the ball around even more. I've been a little bit negative with them when I say they've been a little bit impatient with the football, tending to drop a lot of footy and throw stupid passes, but now they have to start throwing it around and score a try very soon to try and get back into this match.
Well, they trail by 18, and there's a kick coming through from Henry Paul. And they are chasing it, but Lockyer once more linking up with Sailor, the Bronco connection. Big Wendell from a standing start. He ran about 30 metres, but he gained only 5.
How much would he like a try in this game?
Well, he would love to buy one. He's looking for a big game tonight, is Wendell, as we see his Bronco teammate Takiri charge upfield, and a mistake there from Fletcher. Aussies in no hurry to dive on the ball. Look at the Kiwi spread it straight away to Francis Melly. Sailor sticks to him like glue.
Nice soccer touch there from the Kiwis, just kicking the ball and keeping it alive. Big Jerry Tisu trying to get involved.
Jones across to Henry Paul. He shows it, gives it to Vangana. And on the park is McDougall in 14. We have 14 to go. Time is precious now for the Kiwis. It's getting to the do-or-die stage. 20 metres out. Is there a miracle on the cards here? Jones. 5 metres out. Kearney. Can he get it out the back door? No. And I think he's lost the ball. No, he's managed to maintain possession. It's the last. Jones. Crossfield bomb coming through Torpy. Good take from Takiri.
Had plenty of numbers out here on this right-hand side. Unfortunately, the kick from Stacey Jones just a little bit too far, and that was easy for Lottie Takiri, who's having a super game. That's Stephen Kearney. Looks like he's lost the ball there. Undetected as we see the kick by Stacey Jones. Plenty of black jumpers there. Just a little bit too far.
Sailor now. And again proving a handful. Never say die. Crosses halfway. Good hit up from Sailor. Johns to nobody. Picked up by Lockyer. Looking to slice through. Got it back to the replacement player in Carlaw. And away go the Kangaroos once more. McDougall loses the ball and the Kiwis come up with it through Torpy. And straight away he gives it to Kalis, who for a prop forward did well to get back onside. And he's come up with the mistake. Dear oh dear.
Really has been the story of the Kiwis night. As we have another look at the Australians, some great pace. And that man, he's always going to be there, Darren Lockyer. Adam McDougall would have loved to have latched onto that, and if he had taken it, he could have been guaranteed of one thing. As we have a look at another look at Nathan Kalish coming up with a fumble.
2-1, the handling errors against the Kiwis. Johns gives it to Barrett. Barrett keeps it alive. Gidley to Sailor. Oh, big tackle on Wendell from Violecki. Kearns. Straight up from Robbie. 10 metres out. Big backline play on the cards here. They go across to Fittler. Lockyer. Fletcher.
Great up and in defence from Torpy. Come in, shut the ball down.
Lockyer at first receiver. Fletcher now. He wants a try. Right in front of the sticks. Less than 10 metres out. Which way will they go? They go to the right with Johns. Here's a try coming up. How easy is that for Trent Barrett? The face of rugby league gets a 4-pointer.
That is just a superb angle from Trent Barrett. Have a look at this. Andrew Johns takes the ball to the line. You could have expected to go wide, and Barrett changes the point of attack with the angle he runs. You watch this, he'll run back towards the post. Here he comes here. There it is there. Back towards the post. Arm out from Henry. Just pressure.
You see them, they go wide. Johns, he knows exactly where he's going. Trent Barrett. Fantastic angles. You said it, Darryl, and just one play before that we saw Darren Lockyer running a second man play, and I guess it's all about pressure on pressure. Men into space. Options for the ball players like Andrew Johns. And this man, Trent Barrett, look at Henry Paul, trying to rev the boys up. They won't give up.
No problems for Andrew Johns. The move with Adam McDougall coming on the field, saw Ryan Girdler take a break. So Joey Johns has a kick and goal, grabs a couple of points.
And you hit the nail on the head, Tia. Options is what the Australians have had all night. This time Barrett in the running role. He has been using as a ball receiver tonight with Joey Johns in great form. But they've just had too much ball, the Australians. When you make that many errors against Australia, in an NRL game you lose. Against Australians, it's suicide.
So the short restart works twice for the Kiwis. And that's exactly what they've got to do. It's all or nothing from here on in. They're really playing, I suppose, for credibility. This game promised so much. We needed a Kiwi win to inject some life into the international game. Well, it wasn't to be. Swain from dummy half. 32 out the Kiwis with Jones. Links up, oh, big tackle there on Henry Paul. They keep it going, the Kiwis. Back to Jones. See you. Robbie Paul to Violecki, taken high from Sailor. Kearney's got it, play on, got it back to Beetham. Stop-start from him. Now back to Jones, scamming as always. Henry Paul, great hands, but the ball goes loose once more. Knock on against Beetham.
Well, you can't knock him for trying. Plenty of ball movement. Stacey Jones trying to weave some magic, getting the ball in his hands. The likes of Henry Paul. Wendell Sailor ragdolling here. Grab a look at this. Round by Lecky's neck.
Well, there's nothing really in that, but it was some constructive play from the Kiwis. But again, that final pass.
Get in, mate. Get your feet back, Kiwis. Get it.
The Kangaroos. Will we see some more tries? 8 minutes to travel here at the Westpac Trust Stadium in this one-off test match. McDougall, the man they call Mad Dog. No doubt he was talking to those thighs before the game.
Jenny, get back. Hands off. Wait, Jenny.
32 out from their own line. John spreading it to Lockyer. Girdler with the kick. There's a chase on. Henry Paul is back there. And he goes absolutely nowhere.
It's been a feature of the Australian game all night as they really have turned the Kiwis around. They've made them turn around right from that initial kick-off at the very start of the game. They showed their hand at the early stages on tackle number 3, putting the ball deep, showing the Kiwis that this is exactly the way they were going to play this match this evening, and it's worked extremely well for them.
And it's worked extremely well there for the Kangaroos. Another turnover. Barrett getting to his feet. Kearns.
Stacey, come on!
And there's the mistake from Siu. And they attacked the far side of the field through McDougall, and Stacks on the mill. Had to be a knock on there somewhere.
Well, I reckon they've made a pact. They're just going back to Wendell's side all night, trying to give him a try to send him off on his way. Just to give you some indication, the Australian wingers and Kerry and Saylor have had 18 and 14 hit-ups between them, as against ours and Torpy and Mealy at 8 and 5.
Get in, Brad!
And you would expect, really, with the amount of kicking the Australians have done, that our outside backs would be heavily involved as Nigel Vagana drags it to the 20.
Torpy goes for a gallop. And he got the ball away to Kearney. And that is the 30-metre line. 28 points to 4. As Siu goes upfield. 10 short of halfway. Jones. Kick through. And once again, Lockyer in good position. But a penalty to the Kiwis. Robbie Paul taken out in back play.
Yeah, checked him. Plenty of chances to complete.
Well, you heard it. Half checks. Looked like he possibly could have been a half a pace offside.
Head back, lads. Head back, please.
Throwing everything at him now in the last 5.
The Kiwis now come across to Henry Paul. Thought he got through. 15 out. Pass comes across to Wiki. He offloads to nobody. Picked up on the bounce by Jones. Now to Siu. From a standing start, Big Jerry winds up and is put away on his backside, 11 metres out. They come the right side with Kalis. One out stuff in front of the sticks. Henry Paul got it back and chopped down there as Monty Beetham. Henry Paul from dummy half spinning. 1 metre short. This is the last. What can they do now? It comes to Jones. There's the little kick, and the Kangaroos clean up through Danny Badiris. Tackle in the in goal, so they'll get another set here. Back-to-back sets finally for the Kiwis.
You must compliment the Australian defence all night tonight. They've been very strong from the outset, and they just showed there again that they're a very strong unit in defence.
The restart from the Australians is quite high. It doesn't fool the Kiwi side, particularly Monty Beetham. He's had a pretty good game tonight, has Monty Beetham. In the number 13 jumper. Swain from dummy half. Taken by Sivanasiva. They're 20 out, the Kiwis. Kearney with a good carry. Badiris, only a small man, clashing with the hulking frame of Kearney. Jones to Wiki, almost an intercept. Play on. Bungana's got it. 6 to go. Now Wiki, just short. Plenty of tackles remaining. Jones. He comes across to Henry Paul. Lockyer, well, McDougall went for the intercept. Here come the Kiwis. Melly out wide is over. Francis Melly, he's been under siege tonight, but he gets a try, but it's too little too late.
Well, finally we get something to cheer about. Yes, Melly hasn't had the happiest of nights, but what he does here, he stays on his wing, and he stays back, and he waits for the ball to come to him. Violecki does the work here. Look at him, you'll come into picture frame now. Good step off of the left foot. Nice little dive under the Mad Dog. Try.
All about some good initial lead-up work from some of the big guys, and really just numbers here. Great pass there from Henry Paul. Violecki onto Melian. He'll score his points. Well deserved by Francis as well.
And Adam McDougall, a winger playing at centre, a little caught out here the first time the Australian defence found wanting, and that's probably the reason. And Francis Miller did very well there, stepped inside Wendell. Nice consolation. Francis has been strong tonight. He's been under a lot of pressure.
And once again, it's that pressure again. It was pressure on pressure. They forced another 6, and if he can force another set of 6 and keep coming at them.
Henry Paul is online. They have hit double figures, the Kiwis, with less than 2 to go, but Australia have done it comfortably tonight at 28-10. Francis Smelly, some reward for him. So a restart coming up here for Andrew Johns, but Daryl, where to now for the Kiwis?
Well, Gary Freeman be scratching his head, I guess. The game plan just seemed to fall apart. Often things like that can happen when you play against the world's best.
And the disappointing thing for the Kiwi lads will be the fact that they'll have to wait a long time before they get to play against Australia again in the Test match. They'll be wishing there was a second one next week.
Well, there's been plenty of discussion, hasn't there, about a series, but seemingly the Aussies aren't keen, quite clearly protecting that showpiece that they call State of Origin. Certainly not doing the international game any favours. Solomona kept it alive. Henry Paul got it back to Jones. Ball goes loose once more, and again a mistake. Starting to get very sloppy with just 20 seconds to go. Play on, says Smith. Badiris gives it straight away, and a good pick up from Barrett. This is Johns over the top. Sailor, will he get a try in his last game? Does he get the bounce? No. Melly cleans up and over the sideline, and that will be it. There goes the siren. It's all over here in Wellington. The Kangaroos again have reigned supreme. Sailor leaves the international stage a happy man. And Fittler, of course, bowing out in his last game in the green and gold on Kiwi soil, commiserating with Stacey Jones and the Kiwi side. But an emphatic win, a clinical win to the Kangaroos tonight, very professional. Fittler will sleep well. Australia defeating the New Zealanders 28 points to 10. The Aussies tonight, they'll be very happy with their achievement. Talk that tonight that the Kiwis might have been the favourites. A few smoke screens perhaps, but it didn't fool the Australian side. Wonderful performance. They led 16-0 at half-time, and they have run out winners by 18 points.
And you said it, Costa. It was clinical. It really was clinical. And it's interesting that we watch a Test match where Australia are so dominant, and yet Brad Fittler doesn't appear to be that dominant with the ball in hand. But you look at his stats, and he comes up with some 31 tackles.
Well, one of the players who tried his heart out for the Kiwis tonight is their captain, Nathan Kalis, and he is sidelined with Tony Iro.
Well, Nathan, a disappointing night. The only words we can say.
Yeah, that's right. You know, we just gave the Australians too much ball, and quality side like that, they made us pay.
How tough was it mentally? You dominated the opening 10 minutes. They scored a try immediately after that. Did that affect the team any?
No, we had a really good start. We controlled the ball well. Then they scored that first try and we sort of gave too much ball away, and it's very costly against such a good side.
Were you guilty of playing a little bit of too much catch-up football too early?
Yeah, I think so. You know, our go forward sort of let us down a bit in the first half, and we sort of picked that up in the second half and scored a couple of tries. But you know, the boys gave their best, and that's all we can ask for.
It's a young Kiwi side. You'll learn from this.
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's a good experience for the boys. And, you know, we sort of hung in there towards the end. We didn't let it slip away, and scored a good try at the end. So just got to take the positives out of the game. Very disappointing night, but just got to take the positives out of it.
Commiserations. Thanks for talking to us, mate.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks.
Thank you, Tony. Let's go sideline once more, and Ricky Stewart is with the Australian captain.
Yes, well, thanks, Brad. Brad, nice to be back in the winner's circle, and they say defence is an attitude, and it must have been on song tonight because of that first 10 minutes was great.
It was. First thing is, it's good to be back having a win. It's been a couple of dusty weeks for me, so I thought it was a bit of a voodoo for a while there, but our defence was fantastic tonight. Our attack wasn't great. We sort of haven't had long together. We've got a couple of debutants, but on the line there early on, we've been laying the game a couple of sets on the line as well. Good desperation defence, and it's a good sign of a good team.
Playing a lock, personally, you had a different role to play tonight as well?
Yeah, I did. I found myself caught out a couple of times. I think I might have made some more use, getting a bit wider for Trent and blocking these sort of blokes. Make sure the better runners of the ball in rugby league. So we could work on that, I suppose, towards the end of the year.
What's it like playing with two wingers who you can use as forwards in Takuri and Wendell Saylor?
I'm sure everyone's going to be bagging me about me hit-ups, but when you've got wingers like that, you don't have to do many, so they're fantastic. And watch them come through the start of Origin. The boys are all lifted again for a big performance, and we've got a lot of questions asked, especially early on, and I thought it was a good effort.
Well, it's a big rep year. You got the Kangaroo Tour at the end of the year. Good luck with it all, mate. Yep. I know you got the Doggies on Sunday. Would you like to have the weekend off?
Oh, mate. I said before I can't buy an injury, so just got to keep playing.
Congratulations on a good win tonight.
Cheers, Stick.
There he is, a very happy man, and rightly so. He's had a wretched winter, well, in recent weeks with the Roosters and the Blues, but Brad Fittler celebrating with a win, and obviously on the other side of the fence, the wizard Gary Freeman. Rather gloomy there. He started with a bang against the Frogs, but tonight a different kettle of fish. Good to see both sides embracing, and disappointment for the Kiwis tonight. Just wasn't their night. 16 zip at the break, and at full time 28-10 to the Kangaroos.
Thank you very much, Colin. Well, Australia, you've done it to us again. Congratulations on your win, but to you Kiwi guys, thank you very much for battling right till the very end. To all the officials, thank you very, very much. But more than anything, you Wellingtonians, thanks for getting behind us, and thank you for having your wonderful home called the Westpac Stadium. Thank you very much. Nathan, if I could just have you to come forward, please, to say a few words. Nathan?
First of all, congratulations to the Kangaroos. Just too good for us tonight. To our boys, just got to stick together. That was a good effort. Thanks to the crowd for turning up, and we'll be back. Thanks.
And now to accept the trophy on behalf of the Australian team, Brad Fittler, playing for the Bill Kelly trophy. Brad, would you come forward and receive it on behalf of the team, please? Firstly to Gary Freeman, Nathan Kalis and the Kiwis. Although we were in trouble there for a while early on, they played some pretty smart footy, but I think maybe the talent of our team, and we had some big forwards going forward which helped us out. So congratulations to our boys, fantastic effort in a pretty short preparation. Thanks to the staff. I'd like to thank Wellington itself because they put on a great night tonight. A fantastic ground here. It's a shame we don't play here all the time, and just thanks a lot. Cheers. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for both teams for putting on such a great performance tonight, and thanks very much to our sponsors. Stay fit home, and to all the players, best wishes for the remainder of the season. Thank you for coming, and we hope you enjoyed the game.
There he is, Fiddler with the Kelly Trophy, and the Kangaroos continue their dominance of the international game tonight, winning by 3 converted tries. The green and golds again reigning supreme. Just repeating that full-time score here in Wellington. In the capital, it's been the Kangaroos by 18, 28 points to 10.